What's up, everybody? Daquan Washington here, Aaron Honer, and I'm gonna interview him because he has like a unique perspective on pornography. I think it's probably something that people are really afraid to talk about, and I'm willing to talk about it with him. And because I know a lot of people, they got thoughts, right? And I know people probably want to ask you questions, but they're probably afraid because they don't want to expose themselves. But like, so I'll kind of be like their voice.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways, like, what got you into like the whole destroying the porn industry? Like, what brought you to that point?
So it all started with just me, like, thinking about, like, or experiencing, like, I got into pornography and masturbation when I was younger. Actually just masturbation, and I was like, you know, I wasn't really into pornography, but I was like, I had a passion for sharing about masturbation, and then I found out, like, a lot of people struggled with both. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel on it. So I started to make a YouTube channel on it. It kind of gained some traction. Then I made a website on it, launched that, got a couple blog posts that were getting a decent amount of views, you know, spelled pornography and masturbation wrong. That way people would actually go to it, and it got ranked really good, actually. And so I started gaining traffic on there, and
I actually seen that. Why did you spell it wrong?
Oh, because people spell it wrong. So I type in, I'll be like, how to stop master, and then people spell like so many different ways. They have no idea how to spell it, most people. So I just spell it the way it's suggested on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember that. Like someone said, commented like, "This is spelled wrong."
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, dang, that's interesting. So to get them views.
Yeah.
So dude, that's real interesting because, like, you were saying that masturbation and looking at pornography, you were struggling with the masturbation part.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question for you, because when you say struggle, or like, you know, you're battling with it or whatever, what is wrong with it? Like, in your mind, like, it's a struggle. Other people don't think that they're struggling with porn or struggling with masturbation. Like, why is it a struggle?
Are you talking about masturbation or pornography or both, or?
Yeah, either way, yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah, well, most people think masturbation's okay. And even professionals don't, a lot of professionals don't even believe that pornography addiction is even an addiction, or masturbation, because they don't take into account the pornography alongside the masturbation, if that makes sense. So that's first of all so that a lot of people are like, oh, you know, like, I've been doing it for years, it's not a problem. But with high-speed internet and masturbation, that's a huge problem, because first of all, it overstimulates your dopamine receptors, and it causes you to feel really good, and then with feeling really good, you feel really down afterwards. And I experienced,
like a drug.
Yes, exactly. And also, it lowers your energy levels. Like, I felt I was lazy when I was masturbating, like, using all that energy. Like, there's so much nutrition, so much in that seed, you know. And so,
wow.
Yeah.
So, like, that's crazy. How does it? Oh, well, because the dopamine, it's like doing a drug. I've never done any drugs, so I heard somebody say that, like, doing meth is more addicting than having sex.
Wait, doing meth is more addicting than having sex, you said?
I heard someone say something like that. I don't know. That's something that popped in my mind. But
I think it's the opposite, because sex is probably more, because
doing the real thing is probably even worse than actual porn. I don't know.
Well, no, actually, pornography is worse, because pornography is like a unrealistic version of sex. So it literally is higher dopamine levels than sex, because you're literally, I don't want to get too graphic on it, but pornography is just overstimulating your brain. Sex is a natural human thing, I believe in marriage, obviously, but sex is a natural thing. But with high-speed internet, think about it. Like, you would think about 2,000 years ago when, you know, in the Bible times or whatever, like, people would probably not see 100 naked bodies in a century, or you know, in their whole lifetime. But we're seeing them multiple times a day.
Tons,
yeah.
Wow.
And think about that. And also, like, in detail, it's crazy, bro.
Dude, I have never thought of that. Wow. That's interesting, bro. That would make sense. You're seeing tons. Wow. Because, like, most people, they're probably only seen their spouse and that's it. Or,
yeah,
like, whoever else they've been with. But,
yes.
like, then you get, like, hundreds and hundreds of women or even men, if you're into that kind of stuff. But, like, wow. Okay, so here's a question that I know for sure people have. Because, like, I know that you believe in God, and so do I. And, like, in someone's point of view, they'll be like this. Okay, get all this dopamine. Okay, maybe you feel lazy. Maybe, like, all these different things that you're talking about. But someone would be like, but what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? More like morally.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I think one thing is, are you viewing women as an object or men as an object? You're literally looking at it just to please yourself. Think about how selfish that is. Just looking like, and those people behind the scenes are actually taking a big percentage of them are taking drugs, and they have to continually, like, do that. That's their job, and most of them are on drugs, and it's just. But the thing that's wrong with it, I think, is just the unrealistic. Like, you're literally looking at somebody that's not happy. I promise you that, and and you're trying to fulfill yourself with that. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah. So that makes sense. That's a good point about how you're looking down on a person, really, like, as an object, not as like just another soul that you can have like a relationship with. It's more of you're a sex object.
Yeah.
And even if because I agree with that, even if it's just like on images, like, the people behind it that are actually in the videos and stuff like that, like, they're turning sex into, it's not an intimate thing at that point. It's just, it's public. Everybody just come and look at what we're doing. We're making money doing this too. It's not seen as like a precious thing.
Yes.
You agree with that? Like,
yes, definitely. That's good. Yeah.
So, like, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah. So obviously, like, like we were saying before, I believe in God. You believe in God, and sex is so intimate, and when you distort it like that, as you were saying, it's literally taking the intimacy out of it. It's just literally, like, I mean, and also, you know, think about duct tape. You know, once you stick it together once, you tear it apart, it gets less sticky. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with people. Like, if people wait till marriage, like, if they wait to have sex till marriage, their sex is gonna be so much better than the people that have had sex 10 times with a bunch of different times, because that connection is only meant to be with one person, not multiple times, and it wears out. You know what I mean? That stickiness wears out, if that makes sense, and that connection is supposed to be just.
Yeah. Here's one thing. Like, I know that people probably be like, "Who's this young guy? He's talking about marriages and all this stuff." Like, I don't think that it takes a genius to know that can destroy your life. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, people think you gotta be like, have all this life experience to talk about the things you're talking about, but no, like, you're going off of like research, some experience, and your research. And like, I think that's really awesome, and I appreciate like what you're doing. So another question would be, how, once somebody's been in, because you hear about people who, oh, I do it 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 5 times a day. Like, dude, I think I heard about a story about some kid who, I forget the number, but it was like he like did it in like 17 times in one day, and I think he died. Like that. Wow. So anyways, what would you say to somebody who they repetitively doing it over and over again? How the heck did they get out of it?
Well, yeah, you have to understand there's levels to it. So if you're in that deep stage in that, which we call levels, 4, 5, and 6, and that's where you're in it. So yeah, the levels are, level 1 is 3 to 4 times a year, a handful of times. If you can count on your hand how many times you've watched pornography in the last year, then on one hand, then that's level 1. Level 2 is about less than 10 times, about 10 times, and you about once a month. And then level 3 is at least once a month. And then level 4 is once a week or more. And then I believe level 5, I don't have this exactly down, but I know level 5 and 6 are dangerous levels for the fact that they're doing it, they have to have it, they rely on it every day, and if to the point where if you watch it every day, you are going to watch things that are more extreme because your brain craves novelty. When you watch,
what's that mean?
Novelties is something new. So
oh yeah,
so if you watch something, if you've ever been involved in it, in pornography and watching pornography, you know that if you're in it at least once a day or more, you're escalating to higher extremes of pornography, and only a screen can do so much. Once you're in that, and a lot of people actually, I've heard one friend of mine has gotten to level 6, and he sought out escorts and he sought out prostitutes, and he was like, this pornography isn't enough. He literally, escorts, yeah, prostitutes.
Oh, okay.
And he literally was he was very good with IT, and he knew how to get the very graphic stuff. Like, it was actually more than HD. And then he, once he moved on from that, webcams, all this stuff, then he moved on to prostitutes. And then if he didn't stop there, he could have been
more than HD.
So there's, 4K, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. So there's, how it's not as, it's very clear versus very crisp and clear, next level clearness, and it stimulates the brain more, is my point.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And then once you pass that, it's progressive, bro, and it's so.
Wow. And then you said that. So how's he now?
He's actually scaled back to level 3 to 4. He doesn't do it. He does it once a week, but it's not to the point where he was, but he still has to have that extreme level of the very crisp and clearness as far as 4K or more. And I don't know much about IT stuff. I don't know how to hack and all like he did, but pretty crazy stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but that once you get to that point, it's really hard to come back. You once you get to 5 and 6, there's no coming back on your own. You have to get help. Whether it's mentor or it's very hard to come back completely to zero to level, to not watching it at all. Yeah. From 5 and 6, so it's very. Yeah.
So wow, I've never heard of that, but wow, that's crazy. So how does this affect, in your opinion, families?
Families, as well, lawyers say this all the time, that over 50% of their, at least it's about 50% of the cases of divorces have been related to pornography and pornography related things. So online, seeking out online prostitution or things like that, and online dating apps and all that, like along with pornography. So, and
Wow.
yeah.
So, like, when it comes to, okay, a married couple and guys looking at it, you said that the lawyers said? what you were
Yes.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
So, how about, like, teenagers?
For teenagers, yeah, 93% of boys by the time they're 18 have been exposed to pornography. 93%, and then
Before what age?
before 18.
Gosh, dude, that's like almost everybody. Wow. What about girls?
So girls,
Teenage.
60. So by the time they're 18, it's 62% have viewed pornography. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Click the link in the description for 5 free hacks on how to quit pornography, and also my Instagram below. God bless. Thank you so much for watching.